The Barbarian, King of the Barren Wastes, Magnus Chikavius has returned. How's everyone doing this fine Saturday afternoon? I hope you're all doing fantastic, and if you're not, hopefully we can make your day just a little bit better. Now, it's our weekly drawing stream. And, I thought today I'd do a little bit of a landscape painting. Do something a bit different. I'm feeling kind of a chill mood. My voice is a bit hoarse, so I figure I better talk a bit quieter today. We're gonna have a nice, chill landscape stream. So I guess, first things first, let's pretend this is our canvas. And then we're gonna find a reference. We gotta decide what kind of landscape we want to make. And then from there, it's just some painting. We're gonna go nice and slow and chill. As always, please let me know if there's any problems with the audio or video, and I'll fix it as quick as I can. Now, let's see. Just testing my pen out right now. I'm thinking you can join in if you want to, of course. I'm thinking doing this kind of Bob Ross style, so every line on the canvas is a line on the canvas. No erasing, no undoing. We work with what we got. I'm using, Krita and Bristles_Harry for the brush. It's got opacity, so the harder I press down, the darker the lines go. I think it gives it a nice painted feel. Alright, But first, what kind of landscape do I want to draw? I guess I can start with, what biome? Day or night? What kind of landscape do I want to draw? I could draw something in the Barren Wastes, of course. But I always do that. No, let's do a forest. Why not? Or I could go the Bob Ross route and just do like, snowy mountains and a tundra. That might be nice to look at. What to draw? What to draw? Mountainous stuff and things. Modern wall clocks. No, that is not what I'm looking for. Let's see. We can... Of course, we don't have to exactly follow a reference, but I kind of want a general idea of what it should look like. I don't know, let me just pull up Bob Ross paintings. Now, of course, I'm not exactly the best at, well, art in general, but, landscaping and painting and all the various techniques, but it doesn't matter. We're just here to enjoy ourselves a bit, paint a little, relax, that sort of thing. Alright. Let's see. Trying to get an idea for how the foreground will work. I have a decent enough idea of how I want to do the background area. But I don't mean this large flat plane. I mean the stuff that's in the background, as opposed to the foreground stuff. Okay. Alright. Let's see. So we need a horizon line, sky, background, vanishing point. Vanishing point, and everything below the horizon goes below the horizon. It's like bushes can be drawn like that. Close-up stuff can be bigger because it's close. And what else can we do? Okay. I think I'll leave that tab open for inspiration. Let's get to work. First, I'm testing out my pen, and this isn't going to be part of the painting. I know I said I want to leave the marks on the canvas, but right now I'm just testing to make sure everything works. Now, this is going to be a bit difficult, leaving mistakes and whatnot, but as Bob Ross says, there's no mistakes, only happy little accidents. So, my circles are looking pretty good today. That's a good sign. I, of course, am a bit hungry, but when aren't I? We're gonna have a nice, relaxing little stream. Because I could use a relaxing stream, and I think a lot of people could. Things are getting a bit tense as of recent. Just in general, with the way things are moving, things are starting to pick up again. So let's just calm down a bit, slow down, think about where we are and what we're doing. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna make a separate layer to use as a, what's the word? Palette, that's it. That way I have easy access to the colors I've already used. Mic check, 1, 2, okay. Looks like I'm being picked up, alright. And like I said, I'm trying to talk a bit calmer than usual, because my voice is a bit hoarse right now. I want to use this brush or this brush. No, I like the other one. We're gonna use this brush. This brush, no. Maybe later if I want a bit of texture, but not right now. Some of these brushes look a bit crunchy. Alright, enough messing around. Let's get to work. I'm gonna take a sip of water, and then I'll start the painting. And from that point, whatever happens, happens. Okay, not part of the painting. Pen's working all right, and let's begin. First, I'm going to start with a kind of a gray. Let me make sure this is the color I want. Check it on the palette, and it is. Okay. So, the first thing I'm gonna do is start drawing a mountain in the back. So I want to do a mountainous landscape. So we're gonna start off with a big old mountain in the back. Let me drop the pen size. Actually, let's make another layer first before I start. Let's make this the horizon line. And these are just going to be points of references from me. Since, like I said, I'm not exactly the best at art. But I do try, and that's all that matters. Let's make the vanishing point right here. And we'll get rid of this later. This won't be part of the painting, it's just a guideline for myself. So, now that we're into the painting, let's start with a big old mountain in the back, standing tall and proud. And it's fine if we overlap on stuff, because we can always paint over things. It's always fine. Get the rocky crags going. Yeah, space it out. And with painting, we wanna kind of keep the brush going the same direction. That way it gives kind of a flow to a painting, as opposed to, here, let me do a quick example. If I draw it like this, it feels like the mountain goes up and down. However, if I was to just kind of scribble aimlessly, it's a big old hodgepodge of brush marks. So you kind of want to get a consistent, standard line direction going. Everything with purpose, as it were. You already started doing this kind of thing. That's alright, just continue with it. Go over it, paint over it, change it up, incorporate it. We're doing Bob Ross style today. No mistakes, only happy little accidents. Now that we got our mountain going, starting to look pretty good. I like the shape of it. Let's draw this way. Get the crags going. Now, the background is not beholden to the vanishing point with the horizon line, because it would be like that with the horizon line. This is stuff that's kind of behind the painting. So with this mountain, now that we've got this going, let's taper it off a bit. Kind of, make it a bit sturdier and expand. Now let's have a second mountain. This one's a bit more in the distance. Everyone needs a friend after all. Right, let's see. Let me take my hand off of Control Z, because it's such an instinct to press it at any and all times. And we'll just try to relax today. Relax and draw and paint. Yeah, that's starting to form out. Let's see. Let's make this mountain a little bit different. Like this, and just a few brush strokes up here. There we go. Alright. And we can make I think that's fine for the mountains. For now anyway. We can go back and add highlights and stuff in a bit. Oh, I forgot to do the sky. That's fine. Well, let's make it kind of dusk. Let me look up a reference for what colors I should use. That's fine, we'll go around the mountains and we can go over it, and then we can redraw the mountains. It's all fine. It's all a-okay. Right. So let's get kind of an orangish color. A bit vibrant. I think right about here. Yeah, that color. And then we're gonna want a pale yellow. I think Bob Ross had actual names for these colors, but I don't, so we're just gonna call them whatever I feel like at the moment. Kind of a whitish color. It's a bit gray, but there we go, there's the whitish. And of course, we need a blue. Let's go with this blue. And of course, I can blend and stuff, and then now I have this kind of blue. But that's beside the point right now. Let's head back to the painting. So, first let's get this orange. And let's get the sky going. We'll come back to the mountains. Sorry, mountains. But I started you a bit too early. That's alright, we'll get back to you. Alright, we're just gonna do the sky. First we'll get the orange going. We'll get some of this pale yellow. Kind of just ease it over the top. That's it, just paint it gently, slowly, and gradually. And now we're getting some of the white. Before we move on to the blue, first I just want to get these flat colors, as it were, before we move on to a little bit more of the subtler work. Kind of work on what I want to work on. Let's do the top first. Brush a bit bigger. And there we go. Nice and easy. Okay, so we just want to do nice, easy little brush strokes over here. And then over here, let's get this kind of blue, kind of ease it up a bit. We want to do gradual changes, it's not all this. Get a little bit of a darker blue, and we can go towards the top. Just get a little bit of depth going towards the top of the sky. The sun is setting after all, so it's bound to be darker. Right, here we go. Get a bit more of this going. And, let's go back to this yellow. Go right in between and gradually do this. Back to the yellow, make it a bit more pronounced, I suppose. And then back to this color in between. Ease it up. A little bit more of the white. And in between. Alright. Now we've got kind of a sky going. And it's looking pretty okay, I think. Like I said, it doesn't have to look perfect. It doesn't even have to look good, per se. We're just here for the enjoyment of it. We're just here to relax and have a good time painting. So... now that we've got the sky how we want it, let's head back to the mountains. They've kind of got away from us here, but that's alright. We're just gonna paint them back in. Nice and easy. Then we can kind of do this and get a peek to our mountain. And where'd his friend run off to? Let's find him again. Almost Controlled Z, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to paint. Every little thing we do, it's fine. Just be added into the painting further. So we're just gonna do some nice, easy little brush strokes. And there we go, we have our mountains. This one needs to be a little taller. He's a bit jealous of his friend, but he doesn't need to be. Everything's just fine the way he is. After all, we're all unique in our own ways. We've all got our strengths and our weaknesses, and that's just fine. So, let's see. Now that we have our mountains laid out, let's do a bit of, let's see. How do we want our layout to be? Let's head back to our palette. What did I do here? I drew all this on the... Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Gonna do this. And then we'll come back and go over this stuff. It's fine to use it as a guideline anyway. Now let's get the basic layout going before we go back to these mountains. Let's see. For our palette, we want some greens. Let's get some greens going. Some nice grass. Alright, that's a nice looking green. I know we can get a bit of a yellow going too. Darker yellow anyway. And let's grab a darker green as well while we're at it. Now that we have a bit more colors, let's get a brown. And let's move the palette over here. It's fine there for now. Alright. Let's see. I want to, let's make it more of a mountain range instead. Let's head back to the mountains and kind of, let's just ease into it. Gonna make, more of a craggier cliff. Ones where it, branches out a bit. And then we'll go over here. And kind of just paint over to the side. There we go. Nice and easy. Alright. So, I'll just do that, and, let's connect these a bit. This could be a separate mountain range. That's alright. We're making our own landscape, and that's just fine. We can paint the world any way we see it. After all, that's the beauty of art, isn't it? Every artist gets to share their own world. That's fantastic. Let's connect these a bit. Alright. Okay. Now that we have this going on, let's start with this green and kind of base out a little bit. So we're going to use a smaller brush and just start painting a bit of hills and whatnot. Now, do we want any water trickling down? That's the question. Any water? See, perspective is a bit hard, but I think we can work with it. Yeah, we can get a bit of water. Alright, let's start the water, since that'll, shape out our area. And then we can make the landscape around the water. After I take a sip of water, of course. Alright, this needs to be painted in a little bit more. Let's see, so we're gonna get this blue. And let's get a separate layer just so I can blend colors. Let's see. Maybe I go over the blue with the white. No, that makes it more white than blue. Let's see. Let's darken it a bit and take this color. Is that the right color I want? No, it's more of a sky blue. So let's get a deeper blue in our color palette. And let's try to get the right color we're going for. Alright, let's blend it up. I think that's a decent enough color. Yeah, let's go with that. Alright, back to the painting. So let's get a smaller brush. And let's just kind of block out the water flow. Let's get a nice little lake going. Kind of want it to go this way. And then there's kind of pool out here. There we go, make the brush a bit bigger. Make it a little easier to draw. And, let's see. Whoa, I am hungry. So we're just gonna ease into this lake and kind of get it flowing a bit. I could go over here, maybe flow over here, make the lake a little bit bigger. Maybe some flow over here. It's water, it kind of just goes where it can, anywhere it wants to. That's how water works, ease into it. That's why, if I had an elemental disadvantage, water would probably be my greatest disadvantage. Because I'm not really one to kind of just ease into things so much. I'm always a bit stiff, fighting back and whatnot. I don't flow so much. Maybe it's something to work on. Maybe it's something not to worry about. Who knows? Alright, let's get a little bit bigger brush and start painting in this water. There we go, nice and easy. The lake, it kind of just flows. And because it's a lake, and it's not really flowing so much, we can use horizontal lines, give it more of a still motion. There we go, nice and simple. Just doing a few nice and easy brush strokes, getting into the rhythm, filling out this lake. And everyone's landscapes are all looking different. Even when you draw from the same reference, everyone's painting's gonna look a little bit different. After all, everyone sees the world different, right? So if art is a reflection of what you see and the emotions you're trying to convey, doesn't it make sense that it would look different? Alright, now that we have a general shape of our lake, we can move on with the grassy areas. Kind of get a blend between these two greens. And let's start filling out some of the grass. Let's see, make the brush smaller. There we go. Kind of like a little grassy area going here. Short, easy brush strokes, kind of staccato, that way we kind of get a grassy feel. And we can go over it later to make it look a bit more, jagged, grassy. There we go. Now that we're closing in a bit, we can make the brush a bit bigger. Yeah. Some nice, easy, and simple brush strokes. Let's get a bit of grass. It's kind of like that. There we go. It's like almost a hill. Let's get this going a bit. Let's come back and realign the lake. And back to the grass. There we go. Just gradually kind of go into it. Right now we're just getting the basic layout, so it's fine if it looks like it's all just kind of one big blob. We can always mess with it later. But that's fine. Just nice and easy painting. Let's get this a bit. It's kind of grassy over here. Let's make it a bit of like that. Yeah, I like how that looks. Let's go with that. The edge of the painting. Now for this side. Let's see. I kinda wanna go like that. And just follow the border of the lake. Just kind of gently in. There we go. It's got a nice grassy border all along this lake. We can always go back into the lake itself and touch it up a bit if we want the edges to be a bit more defined. Alright. I'm gonna do this just so I can get an idea of where the horizon line is. And we're gonna ease back over. Alright, so we're just gonna keep on doing these nice small strokes for the grass, give it that really jaggedy, grassy feel. And we're just gonna keep on going, and keep on going. A little bit bigger, so we have to do this a little bit less for my poor wrist. And there we go. I think right about here, so we can kind of get an idea for the horizon. Alright. Now let's continue on and just kind of make this grassy area complete. Nice and easy brush strokes. I don't want to rush anything. It's all about the process, not the finished painting. All that matters is that you enjoyed getting there. You just kind of want to keep on going. Nice and easy, little by little. Let's get a bit of a... Let's get like an indent going here. I kind of like how that looks. And there we go. A little bit more over here. You know, I can almost smell the paint. You know, paint has its very, very distinct smell. Smells a bit weird like that. If you imagine something hot enough, you can kind of smell it even when it's not there. Interesting how the human body works, huh? Alright, now that our horizon line is finally disguised, let's see. Hey, that's starting to turn out pretty good. Let's touch up the lake a bit. Make it a bit, more defined. Alright. There we go. And now we just want to kind of mesh this into the horizon line and go over it a bit. There we go. Now that we have that going, let's, what do we want to do next? I think next up, before we move on, I'm just gonna stretch my wrist out a bit while I think about what to paint next. I'm thinking next I want to do, touch up these mountains a bit. Put the rest of the mountain on there, as it were. Let's pop them out a bit. And then after that, we'll figure out where to go from there. For those of you that are following along, how's your painting coming along? And if you're not, how's your day coming along? Working on something, enjoying the stream? How's everything going? I'd love to know. Also, let me know if you want more of this type of stream. Leave a comment if you're watching this later. If you want this more Bob Ross style, relaxing type of stream. Or if you want me to branch out into something, feel free and let me know. Alright. Let's, do a little bit of this. So I kind of want to change this shape up. There we go. And a little bit over here. There we go. Alright. That looks a bit more natural. Now, let's, Alright, out the mountain. That's what I was doing. So let's continue that. Alright. Let's see. What do I want to do for this mountain? Let's get a bit of white and, it's a bit snowy up on the mountain anyway, so let's get a bit of snow going. Just gonna top it off a bit. And it's not gonna look the best, because like I said, I'm not exactly the best at this, but that's okay. We're just here to draw. Drawing for the sake of drawing. There we go. It kind of looks alright. And let's do a bit over here. Now we'll do that. Right. A little bit of snow over here. A little bit of snow over there. Gonna just doing our own thing now. It is quite relaxing to just kind of ease into this kind of thing once in a while. Just kind of paint, create something gently, and not worrying about the end result or how it's gonna look or what's going on. Just paint, to create, not worry about these things. Alright, I think that's good enough for the snow. Now let's add a bit of darker spots all around. Kind of like, yeah. And a little bit of that. And we're gonna go a bit with that. Maybe a little over here. Let's get a bit of a brown. Mix it up with the white and black. On my blending layer. Alright, back to the painting. A little bit of this. Let's make it a little bit darker. With a darker brown. There we go. Hey, this is starting to look pretty good. Look at that. And I didn't think it would look that good a moment ago. A little bit of a lighter brown, but a little bit of pizzazz. Kind of gently ease into the mountain, give it a bit of a flare shading, I guess. And then we just want to kind of do that. Yeah, just little strokes, little brush strokes. Little by little, we're making our mountain. Let's add a bit of the light shading. And we can darken this up a bit. There we go. Just kind of get some texture in on these mountains. There we go, little by little. Alright, and we can just do this, a little bit of this. A little bit of this to ease it back a bit. And some of this. Kind of texture it out. There we go. Yeah, it's starting to turn out pretty good, I think. We're just mudding up these mountains and making them a bit more textured. Making them look a bit rocky. Cragging up the place and whatnot. Alright, I think that looks pretty okay. Just ease up this a bit. There we go. And there we go, some mountains. Yeah, those are looking pretty good. Alright. Now, we can put a yellow, I guess. Let me see how this looks real quick. Okay. I think next up we should do kind of the what to do next. Well, I think, before I move on to the next thing, I'm just gonna take a short break to refill my water cup. So I will be back very shortly. So, BRB. Alright. We are back. Now, where was I? Let's see. I was, doing something. No, I was deciding on what to do, that's what. Let's just do this real quick. That way it looks a little bit more cohesive. And then a little bit over here. Alright. Let's see. Next up, what to do? I guess, next I should, work on the grass. Yeah, let's go with that. Right. Let's see, is this the right color? Let's get something in between. And I need to go to my blending layer to do that. There we go. Is this the right color? I want it a bit more yellow. There we go. Alright. That's the color I'm going for. I think. Yeah, that's fine. Excuse me for one moment. Alright, we're back. So, where were we? The grass. Let's kind of make the grass look a bit like this. I'm doing small brush strokes so that the grassy nature kind of comes through a bit. And now we're defining how the land is laid out a bit more. Just kind of carving out our landscape here, little by little. Kind of just do this. And we do that and just kind of ease over it a bit. And let's see. We can kind of do this. Get like a bit of grass growing. It goes that way. And then kind of a little bit lighter up there. We'll work on the darker parts of the grass after this. And we want to have a bit of grass going over here. and just kind of follow the outline of what we did before. Go. And let's head over here. And just take care of some of this. It's fine if it's not even or straight or... It doesn't look alright. Grass is a bit, wild and weird anyway, so it tends to do its own thing. So you can make it look a bit rough, and it'll look just fine. Go with that. And a little bit more over here. And then we can kind of get a little bit of this, and a little bit of this. And let's get a little bit of this going. Just kind of making these roving landscapes. Right, let's take a sip of water. And now, let's get a bit of this. Let me just see how this looks real quick. Let's see if it was like this. Then... Alright, let's do a bit of the darker spots on the grass. 'Cause it can't all be bright. You gotta have a bit of variety in there, you know? Everything needs to look a little bit light and dark. And you gotta have both to make it really turn out. We're just gonna kind of a little bit of dark spots in there. Maybe make it a little bit darker and a little bit smaller. It's a little bit far, so you might not exactly see the grass so much. Get an even darker green. And here, we'll just go over this. Then a little bit over here. And a little bit up here. And a bit under here. And a little bit over here. And we can kind of just go over the bank over here. Make it a little bit darker for it. Go over here. All right. We're gonna take a break from the grass and move on to what? Let's darken this up a bit, I guess. What we think. What do we want to do? Maybe some trees. I guess we can move on to some trees now. Let's get a very dark green. And let's get our tree line going. Right along the horizon line. So let's get this. Go here. I think that's dark enough. Yeah, we'll go with this. So we'll get some trees going down here. And just start to paint this up a bit. Nice little line of trees. I'm sure they're all very happy to be standing in a line. I know they're certainly happy to be around. After all, being around is a hell of a lot better than not. Because the alternative is not being around at all. And that's no good. What's the point? So once you're gone, it's over and done with, you know. There's nothing left to fight or do or anything. You can't succeed, you can't grow, you can't live. I can go over the grass again once I'm done with this tree line. A little bit of tree here, a little bit of tree there. Few taller trees. Get a few smaller trees. There's all kinds of trees. Nice big tall tree. Right here. Trees, So a lot of triangles. A lot of happy little triangles. then we're gonna want to start to get bigger. As we ease away from the vanishing point. We can still have some smaller trees in there. Nothing against that. Alright, we'll do it like that, and a little bit like that. Trees can be wild too. Some of them grow into really weird shapes. So feel free to be a little creative with it. After all, we're just here to relax and enjoy the creative journey after all. We're not here to impress anyone, we're not here to do anything special, we're just here to enjoy the moment. Just to enjoy existence for a bit. Alright. Nice little tree going. And another nice little tree. Look at this big old tree family. They have big old tree family get-togethers too. But they play plenty of tree family get-together games. Alright, let's touch up the grass a little bit. Oh. You know, I've been trying to improve myself little by little lately. Right now I'm trying to work on my posture, because it really isn't the best. And I'd like my shoulders and neck to stop hurting so much. We'll get there little by little. How these things work after all. Little by little. Alright, let's make a darker green. And head back to... Oh, that's annoying. Alright, I can fix this. This will be real easy though. We'll take that, copy, paste, call it the palette. Again, take the actual palette. What did I do? Alright. Whoops. Vtuber on the palette. Copy, paste. Add to palette. Erase. And merge layer. Select, deselect, and there we go. Voila, it's fixed. Now, let's head back to our painting and darken up some of these trees. That is the wrong color. I'm erasing, that's the problem. Alright, let's see. To get a bit of darkness to these tree line. And then we'll add a bit of lightness too, once we're done with this. Right, a little bit more. And just small little brush strokes. Don't need anything major. Now with that done, we can add a bit of lightness. Let's go with this and add to our mixing layer. There we go. Make sure we're on the right layer this time. And let's see. Alright, that's a good color. Let's add a bit of yellow to it. Just a little bit. And now we can do a little bit of this. Make a few of these a bit lighter. Not everything needs to be so dark. And then we'll go over it and, here, take this color and kind of go over a few of these so they don't pop out so much. But it still gives a bit of a lighter effect to it. Alright, now that we have our tree line, let's move on to some of the closer trees. I'm gonna try to go a bit faster because I need to end the stream pretty soon. So, Let's see. Let's get this green. Is that the right green? It kind of blends in with the grass. So let's get a darker green. And even darker. Go. Now let's make some trees. Actually, first, let me save this green in the palette. And now we're gonna go to the brown. And then we'll make it a bit darker. And a little bit darker. And a little bit darker. A little bit more pale. And darken this color. Are we? There we go. Now let's get some trees, actual trees. Move the palette over here. And let's get some nice trees going. Let's get like one big tree over here. Maybe the tree goes like this, and it kind of curves out a bit. And maybe I'm looking at a reference, but that's okay, because we're just trying to enjoy the day. It's okay, it's alright, it's a nice tall tree, and it's a sight. Get this color, ease the grass back into it. And back to the tree. Now we need this to be darker. We're gonna do this side a little bit darker. And then we want a little bit of lightness, so now we're gonna make a bit of lightness. Hibbity jibbity bobbity boo. There's my tree for all of you. You're welcome. Maybe we can put a bit more lightness for a little bit extra highlight, not that light. Maybe like that. Use my small paintbrush. Use the itty bitty paintbrush. The itty bitty teeny tiny one. No, it's all the same brush. Alright, now we can get on to a bit of this. Still the wrong layer. And we can get this tree going a few leaves like that. And we can go a bit darker, a few leaves like that. And a little bit like that. And then we go a little bit like this. Let's get all of the leaves going. Right, that's the general shape we want. And a little bit more like that. this. Reconnect him a bit. And do a little bit of this, and a little bit of this darker color. A little bit of blue green over it, so it's not just black. Darken this a bit. And there we go. There's a tree. It looks pretty okay, I think. Just connect this up a bit so the tree is a bit more tree-y. And a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and a little bit of this, and a little bit of that. And a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Now we can draw a bit of our tree. Maybe we can do a tree over here. Let's do a pine tree. Kind of looks like that. It kind of looks like that, and it kind of looks like that. And you gotta do the little bits, and you gotta go in, and then you gotta go in, and you gotta do it like that, and 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 that, and like that, and like that, and like that, and kind of like that. Then you kind of even it out a little bit, and pine tree. Yay. Gets a bit messy, but like I said, I'm getting a bit lightheaded, so I need to go eat something. So I'm gonna end the stream pretty soon. But I do want to finish this drawing, so I'll do that first. And we're just gonna keep going, add a bit of darkness to this tree. Every tree needs a little bit of darkness. Green it up a bit. So it's a green darkness. Now every tree also needs a bit of lightness. So let's add a bit of lightness. There we go, a pine tree, kind of. And now we can kind of make this a bit more of a roving field, I guess. Maybe add another tree over here. Probably should have done this tree first, but that's alright, we'll deal. Got one here. And, ease it out a bit. And one tree here, and it kind of bleeds in. Do do do. Ba ba da ba da. Ba do ba do ba do ba do. Ba ba dee ba do. Ba dum ba dum. Ba dum ba dum ba dum bum 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 bum. And we could get this brown back. And a little bit of this. Put this back. Replace this. Make it look like it was always there. Alright. Let's get a bit of this brown. Gonna just... get a little bit of a trunk here. And, ease into it. And let's get some of the darkness and lightness. And some of the darkness. And for over here, this tree that we've missed out on. There we go. Alright. But this. That. Okay. Now we can. We can do a bit of the water. The shading for the water. So we want to get this white and we're gonna go over it. Like here. Kind of off the sides. Make it a little shiny. We don't want to overdo it with the pure white though. So let's get a little bit of... Oh no. Oh well, that was just my blending layer, so that's fine. There's nothing on it anyway, so... we want to get a lighter blue. Go with that, back to the painting. Over this a bit. And now let's kind of wind this up. And there we go. over here. And do a little bit of this, add a bit of the actual pure white. A little bit of the pure white. A little bit of the blue will ease up the white. That way it doesn't stand out too much. And now we can take this color and kind of just it stand out a little bit. Take a bit of this. Take a bit of this color. Ease into here. Take this blue. Take a bit of orange. Take this blue. Remember what I said about being careful with your brush strokes? This is why. It kind of looks a bit haphazard, doesn't it? Right. And water tends to mirror things around it, so we can do a bit of green over here, and then go over it with a bit of blue. That way it looks a bit muddled. Almost like the water's reflecting the grass, rather than it's just doing its own thing. A little bit of yellow, a little bit of green, a little bit of lighter green. There we go. And now we can go over it with the blue, and it kind of makes it look a bit muddly and watery. And that doesn't look the best, but it's okay. We're just here to enjoy painting, after all. It doesn't have to look the best. All that matters is that you had fun, you relaxed, you enjoyed, and you created. So we're just gonna do a little bit of more reflection over here. A little bit of the whiter. Darken that up, and there we go. There it is. Let me, want to touch this up a bit. Alright, there we go. I think a little bit more of this whiter color over here. Make it a bit more splashy. Yeah. Now we just need to adjust this, because this is looking a bit weird. Oh, that's what it was. I forgot to go over this yellow and blue. Right. Just take care of that now. And, there we go. Doesn't look too bad, I don't think. Well, I think I'm gonna call it there. If I go on for much longer, I might devour something, and that's never pretty. Something that's not meant to be devoured. So, we're gonna call it here. It's a nice little landscape, I think. Obviously not perfect, it's not the best, but it's mine. That's all there is to it. Let's do a little bit of this, though. Kind of extend it a bit more. The actual grass. Yeah, I like how that looks. Alright. So, with all that being said, make sure to hit the subscribe button to become part of the Jack-o'-lanterns. Hit the like button, it lets me know that you enjoyed it and that I'm doing something right, and that you want more of this. Ring the notification bell so you never miss a live stream. You want a little bit more faster paced live stream? Check out some of the gaming ones. These Saturday ones are a bit more, calmer. Especially since my voice in the head is usually thrown by this point. Weak. If you followed along, feel free to send me it on Twitter. You can add me if you like. I'd love to see what you guys did. My stream schedule will be posted to my Twitter tomorrow, as per usual. And it'll probably be the same times, you just need to check it if you want to know what. It's also my About page if you want to see the times without going to Twitter. So, with all that being said, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I made your day just a little bit better. Make sure to take care of yourself and drink some water, get some rest. Stand up and stretch once in a while. Your body will thank you. And, as always, this has been your Barbarian, King of the Barren Wastes, Magnus Chicalvius. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, farewell.